This is a quick tutorial on how to create an online assignment in OWL. First thing we want to do is add the assignment tool to the OWL site. So here I am in my course site. I'll click the site info tool on the left hand side. Then from there you'll click the manage tools on the top. From here you'll be given a list of all the OWL tools that you can add to your site. We can just go ahead and check off the assignments tool. You'll notice that if you do that, you'll see the assignment tool on the right hand side. And all you have to do is scroll to the very bottom, hit continue, and then hit finish. If you did that correctly, you should have an assignments tool on the left hand side of your course site now. Now let's go into the actual tool itself and create our first assignment. Here I am in the assignment tool, and to get started with creating your first assignment, you'll want to hit the add button in the top left. And then from here, we can start creating our first assignment. The first thing you want to do is give it a title. I will name mine Assignment 1 Budget Report. Next, you'll want to provide some instructions to your students about the assignment. I already have a Word document that outlines the instructions for this assignment, so what I'll do is type in see attached Word document for further instructions. And if you scroll down, you can see that there's an add attachment button here. I'm just going to click that, click choose file. And on my computer, I already have my existing Word document called Assignment 1 Budget Report. I'm just going to select that and click Open, and then Continue. Great. So you should have a title, some instructions, and an attachment if you choose to. Next, we'll talk about the dates. So if you scroll down to the availability section, so the open date is just when your students will be able to access the assignment, including the instructions, and actually submit. So what I'll set mine to is March 30th, right at midnight. And you can just select those dates by using this calendar picker. And once you have the right date, just hit done. And now for the due date is when your students' assignments are actually due without receiving a late penalty. So I'll use the calendar picker again, and let's set this to a week. So let's do April 6th at 11:55 p.m. Great. So the accept until date will just give your students an extension. I follow a 3-day late policy. So what I'll do is set this to April the 9th, which is 3 days from the original due date. And I'll also set that to 11:55 using the calendar picker. So in this scenario, students submitting before the 6th, which is set in the due date here, won't receive a late penalty. Students receiving after the 6th but before the 9th, which is outlined in the accept until date, will be able to submit, but I will probably penalize them. Anyone trying to submit after the accept until date will not be able to submit at all and will probably receive an automatic 0 in my course. There are additional calendar dates and due date options here. I'm just going to skip through that because I don't need any of that. And I'll jump right into the assign to section. This just assigns the assignment to specific groups or the entire course. Since I want everyone in my entire course to be able to submit to this assignment, I'll just leave it to the default setting, which is each individual member of the site. If you have different priorities or different configurations for this assignment, I would explore the different options here. Next, we'll talk about student submission types. You can set the way that your students submit to the assignment. So since this is for an online course, I'm going to use the inline attachment option, which is the default option. I find that this just gives more flexibility for the student to either attach a file or enter some comments in a text box. Next, resubmissions. I do want my students to have the ability to resubmit. Some folks always submit the wrong file, so I just want to give them that opportunity to resubmit. So all you have to do is check off this box and set the number of resubmissions allowed. I'll set mine to unlimited, and they can resubmit to the assignment up until a specific date. And what I normally like to do is set this up until the accept until date that we configured on the top here. So that was April the 9th at 11:55. So we're just going to use the calendar picker again and set it to April 9th at 11:55 and then click done. Great. Next, I'll talk about the Turnitin plagiarism service here. If you want all of your student submissions to be sent to Turnitin for plagiarism detection, you'll have to click the Use Turnitin checkbox here. And once you've done that, all of your student submissions will be sent to Turnitin. There are additional settings under this section regarding Turnitin. I'm just going to leave mine to the default. And lastly, the grading section. I do want to assign a grade to this assignment, so I'm going to hit the grade this assignment. I'm going to leave the grade scale to points and give it a max score of 100. For right now, I won't be sending this to the gradebook. And there are additional options and configurations that I'm going to skip over. I would encourage you to look at them to see if they would work for you. But for now, I'm just going to hit post. And now my first assignment is there. If you need more information, please visit owlhelp.uwl.ca.